lovelies, welcome back to Wellington Witch. My name's Lorien and it's an absolute pleasure to do this reading for you today. As you can see from the title, this reading is how best to handle this situation or how best to cope with a situation. This is actually requested, so thank you very much to the special person who requested this reading. I hope you get everything that you need from it. So basically, the way I thought might be best to do it is if you feel like, okay, let's get real. This current situation that we have globally is not the best. So obviously there's going to be some tension, there's going to be some souls who really need some guidance. There could also be very personal things that you're going through, so it could be romantic or career situations that you're not sure how to handle. So this is not just globally, this is also for personal achievements, issues and stuff like that. So what you may find is that one of these, so 1, 2, 3, 4, one of these may apply to your personal life and one may best apply to how you feel or how you feel it may be best to cope with global issues that may be affecting you right now. Now, I'm also going to say this is a timeless reading, but as of doing this, this is in the middle of March 2020, and basically there's the pandemic. So, not trying to scare anybody, not trying to, go make everyone go, this is basically from Spirit to advise us how can we cope with that situation or the situations currently going on in our lives. So I don't want to make anybody feel like they have to do this for 100% tell you how to do things, but this is guidance from Spirit, guidance from your own guides or angels or whoever you speak to, universe, just to kind of advise you what may be best course of action or the things that you can do to best handle or preempt something that's coming your way. Sorry, I just knocked the tripod. Just kind of things that you may be able to feel. This is a longer intro than most just because I wanted to clarify what I had to say and how I'm going to do this reading. So yeah, hopefully you'll get some really good information out of it and you'll feel a lot calmer or prepared for the situations or, the uncertainties that may be going on in your life right now. So as you can see, we have 4 piles. Pile 1 is red jasper, pile 2 is sodalite, pile 3 is jade crystal, and pile 4 is multicolored fluorite. So if you would like to spend a 60-second meditation, I'll leave that up in just a second for you, but take your time. And you don't have to choose to. You don't have to. All you can do is choose one, say, oh, well, this is more for the broader spectrum, and just choose another one, this is for your inner turmoil. It's the wrong word, but, let's just go with it. That's the word they sent me. So, yeah, if you want to pick a card for both, or pick a card for one and then pick another one, that's fine. This is up to you. You do this however you want. So enough of me waffling. If you do want a personal reading, all the information is down below, or if you just want to email me for anything else, that email is down below as well. In the meantime, let's get into the 60-second meditation, and I'll start with number 1 and the red jasper. Hello group 1, so you would have chosen the red jasper, which is a very grounding stone associated with the root chakra. So maybe there's some kind of grounding that you need. Or, you know, also red is obviously the colour of bravery. Maybe there's some kind of bravery you want to do, or feeling stronger, or feeling something like empowerment to go and face the day or face the situation that you currently have. So let's have a look and see. I will tell you the story. These cards are the Enchanted Tarot, and as just before I was doing it, I always ask which decks want to come and play, so to speak. And I thought, oh, the Druidcraft really want, because I thought it was behind me. So I picked up the deck and it was going me, me, me. And I thought, oh, the Druidcraft wants to do it. It wasn't, it was the Enchanted Tarot. So they really wanted to come through today and show. I was very surprised when I took it out of the pack and I was like, oh, you're not who I thought was screaming to be included here. So they will have something to say. I'll leave them for later. But let's have a look at your spiritual advice. Soul family. Call in your tribe. You do not have to do it alone. Okay, so this is very important actually. It feels as though some of you may be feeling a little bit estranged from others or cut off from others. And currently I can understand that in the global sense. In the personal sense, I feel maybe that there's something that you feel maybe helpless to do all by yourself. Maybe you feel like you've done it too much on yourself, you know, on your own, without the support or help from others. Maybe you are abroad from your family at the moment. I know a lot of people of my friends in my inner circle, you know, they're living separate to their home country. So there could be a distance between you and family or friends, or it could just be feeling that you want to call out to friends who are abroad or who are in different places. A lot of my friends are not in England. So this could be something that you're feeling like, I want to spend time with somebody who understands me. I want to spend time with somebody who really wants to, you know, reconnect. Thank whoever for the invention of the internet, because at least you can send a message. You can send a text or an email if need be. You can reach out to people, and I think it's good that you do it. Even if you don't go through into the situation that you're currently facing, you don't need to go into detail, but I do feel that the people that you feel you can call very dear to your soul, they would understand how is your feeling. Now you may say, well, I don't have anybody. I don't have a soul tribe, you know, I don't have people I can call my bosom buddy or my soul sister or whatever. This is the time to start asking the universe or calling them in. So it could be that over the next course of the few weeks, you'll start to see people come in that you really deeply connect with, or you just snap and get each other. So I feel very strongly that you should reach out to those who are very connected to you, who you really do dearly want to keep in touch with. Because I honestly feel, interestingly enough, anecdote time. One of the last days I was with my soul sister in New Zealand, she was mentioning whale energy and dolphin energy, and I had the whale energy and she had the dolphin energy, and it's just that kind of complementary, same energies, similar connections. So the dolphin energy may be playful, the whale energy is deep and soulful, just something that you feel like you can complement each other. I think you need to be talking to people who understand you, who get you, who you feel very comfortable with, who you can lean on their shoulder and just feel at peace without saying anything. So if you know somebody like that, do reach out to them, ask how they are, even a Skype conversation for 10 minutes, a brief message. This is very much imperative for you to do today, because I think when you can, because I think it's going to be quite important for you in the near future to kind of understand that there's that closeness that you can bring in here. So don't feel like you have to alienate yourself in such a way where you're completely cut off from everything else. If you're feeling like you're going through a rough time, there are people that you can reach out to. And if you don't know anybody like that, on the off chance you don't, I would say to ask the universe, because I know there's a lot of people, I've seen it happen, a lot of people are complaining about, I don't have the friends I want, I don't have the quality of friends Well, just kind of ask the universe, believe, journal about it, do something about it, and then you'll start to see your social circle shrink. And you may think this is doing the complete opposite as to what you want, but actually when it shrinks, it's actually getting rid of the people that are no longer there to be, they don't serve a purpose to you anymore. And then it'll expand with the people who are actually meant to be a focus in your life, or be a staple, or be somebody very important to you. And that is calling in your soul family. You need to make room for them, and you need to not be distracted as much as you may be. So, for any personal situations, it should be that. And okay, you and your loved ones are safe. Ooh, new moon in Cancer. So basically, this is saying that any issues that you feel you're coming back to, maybe there's some social anxiety going on, or you're really concerned about some things here. They're just saying, you're safe. Don't worry. Focus on your heart chakra. Focus on that connection. You are fine. You're going to be fine. It's safe. Focus on the safety. If you need to, imagine a white light surrounding you and your loved ones. Definitely. This is very family orientated. You may be a Cancerian, or you may be very focused on water because you have the dolphins and the whales here. You may be very, very family orientated. You may be very family focused right now, or wondering if there's going to be something in the family at the moment. If there is a family situation, it's fine. Your loved ones are safe. It's going to work out. It just needs to take some time. That's the messages that I'm getting at the moment anyway. Apologies, I just knocked it again, so I just wanted to cut that out. Okay, so let's see what your other tarot cards have to say. So you have the Two of Swords and you have the Devil card. Okay, the message I'm getting with the Devil card is don't pay attention to the not the devil on his shoulder, but the kind of energy that comes forward from this is, what about this? What about that? What about this? What about that? You're going to go bankrupt, aren't you? You're going to do this, aren't you? You're going to do that, aren't you? Oh, yeah, okay. And it's just kind of filling your head with all these possibilities, the anxiety brain of, what about this? What about that? What about this? You have to do this, though. You have to cover this space and this space. And what about this? Oh, but at the same time, you want money for this, and you want to have the freedom to do. It's just something that's overwhelming your mental state with all these little devils and all these little potholes that haven't even appeared yet. So it's asking you, I feel, just to ignore that negative little person, that little voice that's just going, aha, boy, you didn't consider this, did you? That's not going to help anybody at the end of the day. That's not going to help a single soul to actually go through things or focus on things. It's not going to do it. So what is kind of saying, aim true. Just close off your mind, close off your eyes, and the things and the antennas that you have, which are very sensitive. If you are a Cancerian or have a Cancer strongly in your chart, it could be that you're a very strong empath, which is why you're feeling all these feelings right now. So what you need to do is just focus on you, focus on the direct connection with your pinpoint accuracy, which is your soul and your higher intuition, and just focus on that little antenna that's deep within, and then aim. Because it's making a difficult choice. It's making something that you may not know which choice is the best one. You may be veering towards the lesser of two evils because of this particular devil card. But honestly, when I see this one, it's just aiming true. She's blindfolded, but she's still got the bullseye. Because she knows her instinct is correct. She knows her aim is correct. She knows that she has everything she needs in order to hit where she needs to hit. And I think that's basically, have faith in yourself. Maybe your soul family can help you, or trust that your family are safe, and it'll help you clear off all the sort of noise and static, and you'll be able to overcome it then. Again, devil twice. Oh, it went really, really buzzy then. I do apologise. Devil twice. So there's definitely something coming in. It's fear, disillusionment, a lot of the stuff that's going on right now. especially, but there's a feeling here of just kind of materialism, ignorance, helplessness, and hopelessness. But they're asking you not to do that too much. Don't give in to it. 10 of Swords, 7 of Swords. Then the abuse, my favourite card in the entire thing, 9 of Pentacles. So this again, anxiety, 10 of Swords, anxiety, fear, focusing on what may be around you. Again, maybe worrying even about some betrayal, some deception going on as well, and defeat and loss and crisis, and oh my gosh, everything's overwhelming. This is your emotional state because of your mental state. Everything's like, I honestly, I feel like the essential things, like being hooked into the news, almost like it's downloading into your veins, is not the best way to go about the internet and everything else, electronics and stuff. I think the best thing that the internet's done is connect people on a personal level, so you can talk to people who are miles and miles apart instantly, instead of having to wait 5 weeks for a letter or something like that. So what I think is, use your time on the internet, on the social webs, better. I think this is a major thing. Stop following people who are scaremongering. Stop following people who just annoy you with their vague Facebook tweets, whatever. Just stop following people who are very negative, Nellies, block numbers who, keep saying, but did you hear this gossip about this person? You don't have to do that. This is the devil in the details. Somebody's wearing a mask around you, and I think that's why it's important to get the soul family in, because what you are and what you're meant to be is very independent. You have all the skills you need, all the timeless skills to go forwards and be a very strong person, to be somebody who is very independent and well respected, who's very, prominent and comfortable in who they are, very comfortable. You have things, you're financially independent, you're not stressed all the time, you're very grounded. This is kind of what they're saying. Sorry, there's a bit of my paintbrush here. And what they're saying is just to focus on the people who know who you are, focus on the people who make you feel more who you are. And then I think just clear your mind of all the noise, static, this fear, that fear, people who are spreading rumours about somebody, maybe making you doubt somebody. Trust that instinct here. You and your loved ones are safe. There is no reason to overanalyze, to take on board everything on your shoulders and run with it. There's no need for it. And I think that worry is not going to change the course of the situation. So the best way to cope, the best way to handle the situation is to speak to the people who make you feel good, who know you, or start calling in these people, and don't do it desperately, because they're not going to just suddenly teleport by your side. It's going to take time. But if you do have somebody who's very close to you, or somebody who's very, you automatically connect with them, that I think is going to be the best. You need to start making a family of people you can trust now, and a family of people who your priorities may be shifting. That's probably how to handle a situation. Shift your priorities and make sure that you feel like you can get rid of this devil on your shoulder, because that's not helping you. All this blue and this greeny kind of energy, you're very in your emotions, very in your mental state here, but your heart chakra is the key. And I honestly feel like if you did a meditation on that, that would lead you to the best course of action. There's a very practical course of action it is as well, because I see it leading you to this card, the very practical course. But ultimately the decision is made by your heart and not your head, by your soul intuition and nothing else. But I hope this helps you, my loves. Do let me know in the comments below if this did help you. I'm now going to move on to group 2, but thank you so much for watching. Hello lovelies, if you chose group 2, you would have chosen the Sodalite. Sodalite is a really nice calming stone, I always associate it with both air and water, so it's a combination of emotion and kind of your mental capacity, really. So I'm just going to pop that over there. It's also to do with communication, so how you speak about your emotions and stuff like that. What I will say is, with these cards, this is the Enchanted Tarot, and I actually was being really seriously called. I always ask my cards like who wants to come and play for this reading, and this was really screaming to me, but I thought it was the Druidcraft Tarot, which was normally my go-to, and I turned around and it was these. So these definitely want to have something to say to you all today. So your spirit message for how best to handle the situation or how to cope with this uncertainty is Priestess. Ooh, how are you being called to step up and lead? So it's basically saying take control. Sorry about that, I'm recording on my phone and I got a phone call. But this one is coming in saying you may just need to take a step up and lead. Priestess as well could be that you connect with some form of spirituality or religion, if that is more your thing, just to kind of see if you can process everything that's going on and actually draw a conclusion based off that. So it could be that you drew your own tarot card, or that you kind of connect or convene with some form of hierarchical body. It could be somebody who is a priest or somebody who's a guru. Well, I wouldn't recommend a guru necessarily, but it could be somebody who is kind of a connection within your aim of spirituality, if you are indeed religious or otherwise. It could be something that is saying that you just need to tap into the divine within yourself as well. It could be that you're also making too much of a grounded deal about things, where you just need to go a little bit above the situation. How I'm seeing this is being in the clouds and looking down upon this situation as though you are looking down at a chessboard and seeing all the players and seeing everything as it's moving around, and how would you, including yourself, and how would you maneuver things in order to get the best deal out of it, if you know, almost like a war play. And if anything nudges at the moment, it's because my cat decided to nuzzle the tripod, as she always does when I'm doing tarot readings. So basically it's saying just to kind of take the lead, almost. I feel as though you are... It's not taking control and dictating to people. That's one thing that I want to make sure that you're not thinking I'm saying. It's not saying, you know, write a decree, sign it and make everybody follow what you're trying to do here. What it's saying is just how can you lead the situation? How can you, you know, take your own sort of voice here? How can you complete this sort of movement forwards? Is maybe it's just you saying your opinion, leading your own voice and leading your own communication, because of the soda light over there. It could you literally be you saying, you know what, I'm not happy with this, or you know what, maybe there's another option we can look at here, and being the voice of reason. But this is leading the conversation, leading something that makes you feel very connected to things and how you can progress in that way. It could be that you're just needing to say something that you have not said in a long time, and making something, making a nuisance out of yourself. You know, you could maybe make a nuisance out of yourself, like pound on the door and, you know, say, this is me, not harass anybody, obviously, but just making your voice heard a little bit. Okay, so the card for the moon is a new romantic cycle begins, which is new moon in Libra. Now, I'm not necessarily taking this entire romance thing too literally, but I would say that the new moon in Libra is definitely a focus for you to kind of breathe into a sense of balance. Diplomacy. New moon in Libra is very much about diplomacy. In fact, they are the diplomats of the zodiac. They're very evenly, excuse me, talk about communication, my throat just closed. They are very evenly approachable, you know, they try to be. They see things from all angles. They see things from, you know, like a good leader, they do see both sides of a story and then they kind of take it on board and move forwards with that. So basically, I feel as though it's saying to lead based on what feels like it's in balance for you. Maybe there's a compromise that you can actually start. You know, you can suggest a compromise here. Maybe there's something that you can actually build on. Now, this definitely feels more personal than world, the situation. But I do feel that maybe if the group around you is kind of being concerned, there's definitely a place for you to be involved in how this gets solved. And your voice is very, very important to this. So don't let anybody tell you that, you know, your voice is not needed or that you are not wanted in any negotiation or in any corroboration with somebody else. This is definitely, you need to be heard by somebody, and I think that's kind of why it's saying, look, if you need to take a moment out in spirituality, if you need to ask somebody, how do I forgive somebody, if you need to ask someone, how do I approach this, absolutely, you can have a look in books, you can have a look online, you can consult yourself, you can do some runes, whatever you need to do. I do feel that it's coming from within rather than an external force, but some message is going to actually come to you to lead you forwards, really. So your tarot from the Everyday Witch is the Queen of Swords, yeah, which is very strong, independent woman. She's normally seen as either the widower or the constant single person, but for me, she's just a very straight talking, down the line, no messing type lady. She comes across as being, you know, you could be an air sign. I'm getting a little bit of air, like I said before. It could be that you're very much wanting to communicate, no frills, no messing, just wanting to go straight down the line and just say what you have to say. Very quick thinking, very perceptive. I think you're going to see more to the matter if you separate yourself emotionally from it. So take your emotions out of the equation, look at what is going on, be very practical about it. Just see how things are going, see how you feel as you're looking at things as a whole. So it could be that you just need to do more study on it, it could be that you just need to do more research, or it could just be that you need to draft a few letters and just then send it out. But this is going to lead you to a new beginning. It could also be this person you're dealing with is very unfeeling, but I'm not getting that as strongly. The Ace of Pentacles is very much about leading to a new beginning. This is very practical. This is a manifestation time of prosperity, a new day dawning. So your efforts are going to come in. You are going to see things maybe from a new perspective, but it's going to lead you to a new beginning. It's very positive. It's nothing that you need to be necessarily concerned about at the point in time. It feels a lot like you are, how to put it? It feels like you are getting to a certain stage of your life where you're feeling like, you know what, I'm not taking any bull crap, you know, I'm not taking anything like that. I'm going to lead myself. And if what you say makes people uncomfortable, oops, you know, why is this nothing really that you can do? If it makes you feel good that you're actually saying the truth, then good. Obviously, this is in moderation. Libras are very diplomatic, so it's not saying to somebody, your dress is ugly, you know, just because you feel like it's the truth. It's being diplomatic about things, you know, choosing when the right moment is to say things. You know, if some family members are being very annoying with you or taking the piss out of you or something, you just have to say, no, enough, goodbye. So that kind of thing, not, you know, I don't like your hairstyle, that doesn't serve anybody. So it just gives you a sense of, I told the truth, yeah, well, the other person feels crap now. So it's just that balance here. So you have the Five of Pentacles and the Queen of Pentacles. You also have the Queen of Hearts and the Eight of Hearts. This is interesting. Okay, so I see this as being either somebody you know or you. So this could be a Taurus, Capricorn, or Virgo. And the thing is, there's something that feels a little bit left out in the cold here, or a fear of being left out in the cold. Insecurity about something going on without you, something going on away from you, like you can't control the situation, and you know, any port in a storm, will I get the security I need? Will I get the sanctuary I need? You know, maybe will my finances you know, be good here? You know, will I recover from something here? And I think this is, you know, your practical concerns. It could even be to do with a house, because she's something to do with normally structuring your house, redecorating, things like that. Could be your bank account savings. You're worried about an impact, that something's going to happen financially. Could even be how you can do your job in future. You know, something very, very practical that way. But we also have, like I said, earth, sorry, with the sodalite, it could be air and water. This is very watery. So Queen of Hearts with Eight of Hearts. I think maybe from your fear here, or maybe from something that you're not quite sure about, you're going to start to take some new steps. So this is taking new steps. And this is also, reminds me of Lord of the Rings, when Sam says, this is the furthest I've ever been from home, and the next step that I take, this is the direction you're going. You're using your emotional intelligence as well to know when is the right time to say goodbye, or right time to leave, or right time to walk away. So this could be something that you are, you know, changing for yourself for the better. I definitely feel this is escapism. Maybe you're slightly disappointed by things that have happened, or, you know, maybe something has had to be cancelled, or you thinking seriously about cancelling something. There's a lot of emotion, but there's forward progression, there's forward motion. They're saying not to worry again too much about the repercussions of what's going on around you at the moment. If you can do it based on trust and truth, and knowing that, you know, in your heart of hearts you're doing it the right way, I feel like you could be leading yourself to a much stronger path. So whatever situation you're dealing with, it calls for clear communication, no holds barred. Just lay it all out on the table. You can be pragmatic about it. You know, you can acknowledge, you know, that something's going on, and that you say to somebody, or the parties involved, or, you know, anybody who's involved, I know such and such is happening, or happened, and I think this is the next thing that we need to do. It could be to do with your relationship, it could be to do with work, finances, family. It doesn't matter which area it is. The main thing that I feel you need to do is be very clear about what your intentions are, and very clear with yourself about what you expect in return. So if you go to somebody and lay it all on the line, do you expect that person to come to you and give you everything you want, or are you expecting some compromise? So it's a diplomatic Libra here. We need to get into some sort of understanding about the, you know, either the quid pro quo thingy, whatever you need. But I do think it's being very realistic, very pragmatic, balancing what you need with what your emotions require. And then it is going to be a little bit of a seesaw, I think, but there's kind of negotiation. There's something coming through here that I feel leads from you stepping up and having the balls to do it, basically. So I do think this is necessary for you to kind of take that forwards. Let me know in the comments below how things go for you, because I do love hearing from you. But thank you so much for spending the time with me today. I really do appreciate it. Anything you need is all in the description box below, readings or email address. But in the meantime, I wish you the best of luck, and I'm now going to go on to group 3. Hello, my group 3 lovelies. So you would have chosen this jade crystal, which is one that was bought for me from New Zealand. So I'll just move the rest of them up there, but this is the third one. So jade is quite a powerful gemstone. It's said to have very strong healing abilities, and also if you poured poison into a cup of jade, it would crack, and there was also protection from lightning in there as well. So it's very powerful. I'm sure there's other myths and things surrounding it, but that's just what springs to mind for me whenever I think of jade. So with these is the Enchanted Tarot, and I've been telling everybody these really wanted to come through. I thought they were a different deck calling to me, but I turned around and it was these. So these definitely want to bring forwards a strong message to us today. Now let's start with your spiritual message, your psychic message, which is deep replenishment. Okay, so retreat, rest, be held. This actually has never come up in a reading before, certainly not one online that I do publicly. Let me just tune into this card because I do get this is just basically this is just a case of rest. Give in to rest. And I think that they're saying it's okay to switch yourself off. So if this situation is causing you a little bit of anxiety or a lot of anxiety, if there's an issue where you're feeling very overwhelmed, there is absolutely no harm in retreating into some kind of solace from yourself, reading a book for a few hours, just going into the garden, breathing in some air, doing something for yourself. I mean, it may not be the best idea to run around town, and do all the things that you may normally do, or it may be something that you're just sick of being at home and you're something that's, you're wanting to do something different and vary your routine. The main thing is just to connect within this sense of rest. If it means, sorry if it just wobbled, my cat decided to drag her tail through it. So it's just a case, I think, of understanding your limits and knowing when to take a back seat and rest and let things happen around you just for a time. You don't have to be on the ball controlling everything all the time. You just have to be aware of when things need to take the own course of action without you necessarily doing things overboard or anything like that. You know what I mean? It's something that I think is quite important for us to remember, that we don't always have to be hyper vigilant about things that are beyond our control. So what is this moon card? A time to give rather than take. So again, give to yourself. Give something that is very personal. Give something that is very much to do within your... Sorry about that, friends. One of the pitfalls in having a familiar who is determined to rub your tripod is that sometimes the camera falls off. So if there was a little break there, I'm very sorry. So basically what happens here is there's a great sense of kind of taking a step back, but giving yourself some reason or some benefit of the doubt almost, as to saying, you know what, I'm feeling this for a reason. I'm feeling this because of something that I may not understand yet, and so I'm going to take a step back. That's absolutely reasonable for you to do, and I think you don't have to take any crap from people. That's what this is saying. It's about being kind. This is what this card is about. It's about being kind. And if I remember rightly, we've had a new moon in every single choice so far. I will just check that for a second. So we had a new moon there. And we've had a new moon in every single choice so far. So this is quite important, I think. I'm just going to try and rearrange this slightly. It's very important to say, look, this is a new beginning. So whatever it is that you're trying to come to deal with, whatever situation you're trying to handle, they're kind of asking you to sort of see this as a new beginning, a new opportunity. They're saying to you, there's a possibility of you to create something new from this, or create a new habit. So what they're asking you to do is just kind of step back, revel in something that's very personal to you, do some crochet, do some art, do something that takes your mind off things, and also remember to give yourself some nourishment rather than take any crap that people are throwing at you. That's what I feel is the main thing here. Okay, so you have the Two of Pentacles and the Eight of Cups in reverse. Sorry, the Eight of Swords in reverse. So the Two of Pentacles is mostly about balance and adaptability. So if you do need to do something, maybe the adaptation you need to see to at the moment is adapting some calm into your life. Maybe instead of taking half an hour lunch, you could see if there's any other little breaks you can have in order to make up to an hour, or just compromising something here. Not for everyone. Might not be as ideal for everybody, because I know some people are very much in the system of big business and stuff like that, where it may not be possible for you to negotiate. So you may have to find some other aspect of your day or of your daily life, just to see if there's another thing that you can do for your own benefit, even if it's meditating with a candle for half an hour, doing something that balances yourself. And the Eight of Swords is very, yeah, it's very, the word that they're putting into my head is isolationist. And I don't even know if that's a word, but this is about isolation, self-imprisonment. So again, people are doing that at the moment, where, we are in the world in March 2020. But as far as I can see within this card, I believe that it's saying, don't take that to the extremes. Don't shut yourself off completely from everybody. If you can, just be made available to people, but don't run at their beck and call, if that makes sense. Limit yourself to people. Be more balanced within your time and how much you give. I think they're saying, well, to limit how much you're giving to other people. You could be an earth sign, because there's 3 earthy type cards here. So it could be that you're giving too much to other people, you're doing too much for other people, and so you need to just maybe focus about yourself for now. Do yourself a favour, focus on yourself. What do you want? Check in with yourself. What is it you want from this situation? What is it you desire from this situation? There's absolutely no question in you needing to take a step back. So if somebody's pressuring you for an answer, if somebody's pressuring you to say, I need to know what you feel right now, or I need an answer as to signing your life away right now, or it may feel like if you don't decide now, you'll never get the opportunity again. But for me, looking at these cards, it's saying, look, just everything's too fraught. Everything's too piling on top of each other at this moment in time. So what you need to do, in my opinion and in the card's opinion, is just take that moment to breathe, center yourself as best as you can, and ignore the panicky poos that are around you. Like that, I need it now, why aren't you giving me everything I need, and being very dramatic. That's not something that you need. Absolutely not. Okay, so you have Pentacles again, and you have 2 aces. Wow. Okay, so the Pentacles, you have the 8 of Pentacles and the 4. So this is kind of similar. It's saying don't overwork yourself a lot of the time. It's saying don't give into fear. The 4 of Pentacles can be about fear, and also sitting on your resources because you are desperate for stability, or you're very much hoarding things just for stability. Now with the 8 of Pentacles, I think this is, you have done a lot. You have basically had a great deal of practice of something. You've done the work, you've done some really hard choices, you just constantly worked. There's a cycle, there's a repetition here. So maybe you're holding on to the routine or the habits or the patterns of helping other people because you're afraid that if you break that pattern, people may say, well, screw off then. People may say, you know what, I'm not very happy with you, so I'm going to lose you as a friend now. Or maybe you're thinking that the opportunity won't come around again to either have the conversation or to have, something, a connection with somebody. Maybe you're worried that you'll never get that again if you break the chain. But they're telling you to break the chain at the moment. That I do feel that they're telling you not to completely close yourself off, but just step back from the situation, see if you can kind of ascertain where you need to go, because you have really good cards. And like I say, we've had 3 new moon cards in 3 options here. So there is definitely a new beginning coming through, a new cycle. And you have it threefold because you have the Ace of Wands and the Ace of Hearts as well. So the Ace of Wands, all about creation, having the idea, having the eureka moment, the energy, the passion, the creative solution that comes seemingly out of the blue. And I think that comes because you start restocking your emotional sensitivity. So you'll have this sense of new intimacy with yourself, new understanding, emotional freedom, and then the idea will come to you probably more fully formed than if you were trying to search for an idea or a solution or a point that you wanted to make just by being drained of energy because you're doing everything for everybody else. And I'm hoping this is making sense, because I do get a lot of people who may have chosen this, who may be frazzled, who may be a bit, not panicky, I'm trying to get the right word. I just feel that for you, there's something that's coming forwards a little bit that's feeling like, oh my gosh, oh, I'm so tired, or I'm so down, or I'm so this. It just feels very sad to me that so many people who may have chosen this particular reading just seem to be so frazzled by everything and desperate to do something and to prevent this or to help this person, or I can't say no because if I say no I'll lose this, or if I say no I'll have this, a hardship or blah. Just take a step, because I know how difficult it is when worry overtakes you. Anxiety, worry, not the easiest thing to deal with. I'm just going to move this back just so you can see the cards a bit better. It's not the easiest thing to deal with, and it can spiral out of control sometimes, especially in the current climate, as I say. But ultimately, this is in your power to do something for you, for yourself, for your benefit. And I do believe that balancing, giving yourself the time, and actually restoring something so you feel emotionally renewed is going to be the best option in this case. So hopefully you'll let me know down below how things go for you, because I would absolutely love to know how things are. But in the meantime, do take care of yourself. If there's anything you need, a reading or otherwise, that's all in the description box down below. And I hope to speak to you guys very, very soon. And now I'm going to go on to the final group 4. Hello, beautiful group 4. So you may have chosen this fluoride simply because it's a healing stone, and you may feel in need of some guidance or healing in regards to a particular area of your life at this stage. I love that crystal, to be honest. I think it's one of the best ones to have. It's most versatile as well. So it could be that you just need to be versatile, but either way, we'll have a look and see what's coming up. I've said this to everybody, so forgive me if you've seen the others and this is a repeating. But these cards are the Enchanted Tarot, and they were literally yelling behind me to come through and be chosen today. So they really want to work with you. But let's see what your psychic message is for today. Leap. Ooh. You go first. The universe will catch you. This is a very different message than what we've had so far. We've had the occasional lead, we've had the occasional step back, but this is mostly just saying, you know what, just go for it. Take, with this situation, go for it. Just carry on doing what you're doing. Take that leap of faith. Maybe this is something that's more personal to you and you're wondering whether there has been kind of a moment in recent past where you've wondered whether this was worth it, or you've wondered whether, doing this or changing something up, or, taking a risk is worth it. It's asking you to trust the universe here. So if you put something out into the universe saying, you know what, journaling, making that kind of manifestation thing, I want this to happen, I want this to happen, believe it with your entire heart, make that leap. Nothing has limits on it. I mean, it may be that if you're feeling weak and you feel like you can't manifest, asking for $1 million is probably not going to work straight away. But there's absolutely no reason you can't have that or make that work. Having the beautiful family that you wanted, taking a leap into a new career as well, adding to your career, adding to your, finances or something like that. There's absolutely no reason you cannot ask for that. The only limitations are what you put on or what you cap it as. I mean, I've just read that at the moment AT&T are removing data caps. from their internet, which means it's just a case of, there's no cap here. The cap is an illusion. It's limitless as to what you can achieve with the universe and with the help of the universe. The only limits are what you put on yourselves. Now, of course, if this is something to do with the broader spectrum of things, you may have to rely on other people, which is never a guarantee. And you may have to be focusing on other people's decisions and hoping that they align with yours. But if you connect within that hope in your chest and having this kind of leading, this is almost like a lead here. You go first. So if you want to, for instance, write the next best-selling novel, who doesn't? You just have to sit down and start writing it. You go first. You can't sell a book that isn't written. You can't be a world-class comedian if you don't start writing jokes. It's kind of saying, if you want to do something, do it. If you want to handle this situation, if you want to have that romantic partner who's amazing, it doesn't necessarily mean jump into people's beds until you find them. It just means do something to go towards your dreams. Fuel them. You can't just be writing things down and saying, I am so happy and grateful now that I have £1 million. I am so happy and grateful now that I am able to provide for my family and have comforts and luxuries as well as pay my bills. If you're just sitting there expecting it to be posted through your door. So this is kind of saying, do something about it. Do something about what you want. If the situation feels like it's, vicing you in, do something with the universe to actually change it. I'm really feeling that very strongly. Ooh, okay, so this is interesting. The last 3 groups have all had new moons. And I was wondering whether there'd be a 4th, but no, you have the midway, you have its opposite, you have the full moon. So this is saying surrender to the divine, and I love synchronicity, sorry. Let me just get this for you, and I'll show it. You have 2 full moons here in glorious synchronicity. I love that. I love it so much. So you have a full moon here and you have surrender to the divine. It's basically saying give in, leap, go. Just do it. Just do it. I mean, it's very difficult because sometimes, the health that we have can let us down. The world around us, governments, things like that, people can let us down. But the thing is, we have to work in tandem with our dreams and our wishes. We're here for a reason. We're here for our soul purpose. I may even do a reading about soul purpose. Let me know if you would be interested in that. But there's definitely a thing just saying, don't go for it. I was having a discussion with a friend recently, a few weeks ago, about having a set pattern, having a routine, and what the meaning of some tarot cards may be. And it was just kind of a change to just let go and see what happens. Maybe that's something that you need to do. Maybe that's something that you should just let go, see what happens, try something new. So let's see what your... Ooh, okay. So your tarot cards are the King of Swords and the Six of Cups. Now the Six of Cups is kind of like a tried and tested thing. It's like, oh, wasn't it so good in the old days where everything was such and such? It could be that you're reminiscing, I wish it was how it was, or it'll never get back to how it used to be. For instance, I grew up in the 90s and I just have really fond memories of that 90s decade, even though I know there was probably really big struggles going on around that time. But honestly, it just feels like there's so much that you can get from the future. I don't understand why we're constantly looking backwards, because I think it probably feels more tangible to look back at what's already happened, and kind of we can't really touch upon what's happening in the future. It's like, can't really do it. So I also feel like it could be to do with previous things that you're reliant on, that you still maybe want to rely on. But ultimately, you have the King of Swords here. Now, the King of Swords is very controlled. It's very clear thinking, very intellectual, very studious, educated, can sometimes sometimes be a little bit snappish, I have to say. So it could be that you're dealing with an air sign here. Interestingly enough, I am not getting a sign for you. No sign right now. So I don't know who you might be. But ultimately, I think this is just a universal message of do it. I'm getting a lot of blue. I'm getting a lot of purpley beautifulness. So this is to do with your communication and your third eye. So whatever you do, try and use them in tandem to solve the situation, to navigate the situation. How to handle it is just trust yourself, trust the universe, be thankful, and acknowledge that you have the knowledge here in order to carry on. You may have a helper in an air sign male who offers you advice, who's an authority on some things, could offer you legal counsel to do with something from the past or to do with how you can maneuver into this future. But ultimately, I feel like there's something coming here. There's a higher power, there's an energy that is conspiring to create more happiness in your life. And honestly, I think it's asking you to meet it. I think it's asking you to work with it. Now, it may not feel very practical, which this, he really does want things to be practical. It may not feel very practical to do it that way. You may want something bricks and mortar that you can do. And in that case, I would say do things, because it's not just in your head asking the universe, talking to your spirit guides. Like I was saying before, you're supposed to be doing stuff. You're supposed to be going out there and actually physically doing things. For instance, I want to be a New York Times best-selling author. Then you have to write the book and you have to put the work in. So you're still having to do tangible things for this situation to work for you, or for you to kind of break the wall. I'm seeing a wall here that you may just have to break down. Maybe the wall that you've got for yourself. So, Ace of Pentacles, Princess of Swords, Princess of Hearts. Interesting. So we'll start with these two because they're very similar in that they're giving you messages. Can you see they're both reading letters? So it could be you sending messages to somebody who helps you. So you could be one of these. But they're both very eagerly reading messages. Now the page is all about having that kind of back and forth with somebody, having the ideas or the spark of communication. And the Princess of Hearts, well, Princess's page in this particular deck. So it could be a curious, energetic email or worldwide connection coming through from this lady. And I just got a really strong smell of some kind of perfume. So there's got to be some kind of symbolization or kind of if you smell perfumes or if you smell something like that, there could be some connection there. But with this one as well, with the Princess of Cups, which is hearts, I think it's a manifestation. There's synchronicity, there's creativity, there's a need to just express yourself here, to let your emotions communicate with you, and your instinct and your intuition communicate through some kind of online thing or some written word or something, like on the phone, through Skype. They're asking you to communicate somehow, and again, blue, purpley, pink. So this is something to do with your third eye. Maybe you're communicating what you're getting from spirit. And then we have Ace of Pentacles. So the Ace of Pentacles, this is going to start off some very new, prosperous beginning for you. I think it's being grounded. I think you're starting off on a new path that's very beneficial to you, that's going to really see you on a very sturdy road, and it's going to bring in balance. It's going to bring in productivity. It's going to bring in everything that the Pentacles do, which is material things, earthy, grounded, very everyday stuff. So I do think that you're definitely on the right track. I think the main message that I'm getting here is believe. You need to believe a bit more. And I hate it when people tell me that myself, so I'm going to disclaimer it here in saying that there is going to be a sort of a eureka moment for you, where you're feeling like, oh, I don't know whether this is going to work out. And then suddenly you start believing. And hold on to that. I'm not going to sing the song because I don't like that song. But it is Don't Stop Believing. Just kind of keep going. See if you can connect to it. Print out those lyrics if you want to. Try and make them, into something that you can utilize. But ultimately, I do feel that this spread is one that wants you to succeed. It's desperate for you to succeed. So if you can, work on what I've said and let me know in the comments below if this is helpful to you, because I love hearing from you guys as always, and I'd love to know that things are happening for you. And if there's anything else you need or you'd like a personal reading, all the information is in the description box below. But I'm sending you the absolute best of luck, sending you so much love as well, and I wish every success for you. Speak to you guys very, very soon. Take care.